Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome for today's session, week 34 of Bhakti Diksha. Hope all of you are doing good. How Vijaya Mataji is doing good. I heard she was not well. I didn't meet her in the temple also. So, my prayers for her speedy recovery. I can't see her video on, so maybe Saurabh can just convey. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vijaya Mataji. I hope by Krishna's mercy you recovered well and yeah.
Vijay Mataji has
Which
been diagnosed with
which place?
cancer.
What part of the body?
Jaw, Mataji.
Jaw.
Her
Oh,
lower right side, this she's showing, and
she had to
she's
be
saying
operated.
radiation, chemo, Mataji. She's been going 35.
35 chemos. Wow.
She has been told it's a 35 chemo kind of a session
Which
she will have to
hospital
go.
she is referring to?
Bill Bilte in Chennai, Mataji.
Yeah, yeah.
Bil
Bill
Bill
Roth, huh?
Bill Raw. Spelling, I think she's not sure, but it's a cancer hospital only.
Uh-huh. All my prayers for your speedy recovery. Anything you need, please let me know. I'm here only in Chennai. If I can any ways help you. So let's all of us chant once for Vijay Mataji's speedy recovery. May she recovers back. She's a good devotee, very sincere. So let's all pray for her, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. My sincere prayers, Shri Radha Krishna, that Mataji recovers fast and she regains all her strength and comes back with full energy and strength in serving the Lord. Hare Krishna. So let's begin our class today. And
She was Mataji all the way, holding her hands all the way, and she was saying thank you to you.
thank you. My prayers for her. So let's begin our class with chanting Srila Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra. I offer my respects to His Divine Grace, Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna. O spiritual master, I offer my respects to you, your servant of your Guru, Saraswati Goswami, and your kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya and delivering the Western countries. Panchatattva mantra in chat. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gauri Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Ma'am. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are on week 34 of our Bhakti Vriksha class. So let's begin it with knowing the glories of chanting the holy name. So we understand that the Hare Krishna mantra is absolutely spiritual. So anything which is spiritual, which is not material, is always fresh. When we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one never becomes tired. As in, it's not, of course, bodily we can become tired. There are days when we are not feeling well, and it is very challenging to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. It happens with all of us because of our schedule in life, office, and you know, being at home, housewives. We do get tired, and it is very difficult at times to chant Hare Krishna mantra. But I'm sure after chanting, you must be feeling very happy and fresh. There are a lot of doubts which are there in our mind gets clear, our thoughts become clear, and we feel more energized, like how they say that, once you do yoga and you do, breathing exercises, you become fresh. It gives you energy. So when we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we become strong, we become energized spiritually. All the negative thoughts which are there, all the negative energies in our mind and body, they leave us and we become totally a fresh and a new person. I'm sure all of you would have experienced that.
Yes, yes, yes. Sure, Mataji. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So, but whereas in the material world, we see that we are doing same things, like how chanting this is just, three, four words that are in the mantra, Hare Krishna, and, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. These are the only four words that we are using. And we're repeating all again over and over again, but we do not get tired. Whereas in the material world, we see that how, we do certain things and we become totally bored, and we start feeling frustrated when doing again and again the same thing. So I'll give you a very common example that how person who is drinking, a person who is taking alcohol, suppose he becomes very very addicted to drinking, and at night, or I mean, he goes to the party and he comes back and he starts vomiting, and he has a headache, and his stomach gets spoiled, and his family also gets disturbed. So he promises himself, okay, tomorrow I will, from tomorrow I will not drink. I will not touch the drink. But when he gets up in the morning and he does his routine job and he becomes fresh again, and the evening sets in, and again he probably goes to office or he meet his friends, again he does the same thing. Again he starts drinking. So you see, even if repeatedly knowing the problems that are coming in drinking, getting intoxicated, yet the person is repeating the same mistake again. So in scriptural language, it is said that we've already chewed some food, and again we are chewing the same old food. So in the sense that everything in the material world becomes stale, it becomes old, whereas when we compare Krishna's name, they are young forever. They are, in fact, even Krishna, it is said that he was always young. Even at the time of Mahabharata, he was 100 plus of years, but he looked forever young. He always looked like a 16 or 18-year-old boy. Similarly, there is no difference between his name and his form. So Krishna looks always young and fresh and brings happiness. Similarly, his names are so glorious that chanting his name is always fresh, chanting his name is always new, and chanting his name brings no boredom in our life. They are always fresh, they always give us freshness. Whereas in material world, if we do it something for 1 hour, we will become bored and we want to move on to something else. So also, the more we chant, the more we become advanced in spiritual life, you will realize your happiness will also increase. See, right now, somebody who's new, when that person is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, might not understand whether it brings any happiness or freshness in life. But slowly, when we sincerely, without distraction, focusing only on Krishna's name, only on Krishna's face, when we chant, we will slowly start getting connected to Krishna. And when we do that, the happiness will naturally increase. It will not be boring subject for us. Why? Because there's no difference between Krishna and his name. How Krishna is always fresh. Looking at Krishna always brings happiness to our faces. And, he's so beautiful. Krishna holding a flute or, he's playing with his friends, or he is with Srimati Radharani, or he is with Mother Yashoda. We have, since years, we have been listening to the same story. But do we get bored of listening to them? So that is the beauty of uh, so that is the beauty. Thank you. Yes, thank you for sharing. So yes, so that is the beauty of Krishna's name, that it is always fresh. It is always uh, gives us immense happiness. And as we advance spiritually, our happiness also starts increasing. Right? So that is what it was in glorification of the holy name. So do not in any circumstances leave your chanting. No matter how difficult your life gets, no matter how difficult, how many other problems in your life, which definitely we will have because of so much of karma that we've done in our past. We will get problems in our life, but the fact is that in any circumstances, we are not supposed to leave our chanting. Even if you're doing just one round, even if you're just chanting 108 number of times, if you're chanting, even that, please do not leave under any circumstances. So even if you have a packed schedule from morning to evening, you don't get time, you have office, you have family to look after, but make sure that before you sleep, at least you have done your chanting. Because that is like, how in TV we see the advertisements that how you take Bonvita or you take Horlicks and immediately, a glucose, you immediately become full of energy. You've seen those advertisements on TV that you drink this and suddenly that boy, young boy, school going boy will start running, zooming, and he will, get a gold medal. So similarly, chanting for us is like that. Chanting for us is an energy booster. The moment we chant, we will realize so much of difference in our heart. We will feel fresh. We will feel, yes, somebody is there looking after us. Some Krishna is there. Will take care of me. That reassurance is there when we chant Krishna's name, right? I hope all of you agree.
Yes, 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 Mataji. And Shuman Prabhu, Vinita, Uma Mataji, all of us sing.
Yes. So let's move on to our class today. And the topic we are discussing is two energies of Krishna. So Krishna has a lot of energies, and the entire world runs because of his energy, right? So Krishna has two types of energies. One is superior energy and one is inferior energy. So first, let us understand what is inferior. So what difference is? Inferior is little lower at level, like how you can say lesser in quality, or you can say uh, suppose somebody is big in position and somebody is like an office. Somebody is a manager, somebody is the boss of the company, and somebody is just a executive or like a person sitting on the reception. So you can see a difference in their levels, right? So somebody is higher in position and somebody is little lower in position. But both the people are important for running of the company, right? We need a staff. We also need the manager, and only with both we can function smoothly. Correct. So we'll discuss first the inferior energy. Okay, so the inferior energy. So let's understand that both the energies that we are going to talk today are actually energy coming from the Lord. It is like a creation from the Lord. It has been created by Krishna. So the inferior energy consists of seven things. First is the five elements that we studied. I don't know how many of you remember. And we have earth, air, fire, water, and ether. Ether means sky. You remember all these things? Does anybody remember? Earth, air, fire, water, sky. And another two, intelligence and false ego. Anybody remember from previous classes? So what is ego? Ego is understanding that I am this body. I am like Saurabh. So I am Saurabh and this is me. But we all know the body that we see is all temporary. Our real, what is our real identity? Our real identity is that we are a soul, right? Because the soul never dies, soul never changes. Soul is eternal, whereas the body dies. World body is not permanent. But what do we think in this world? We think we are permanent. Our body is permanent. And we think this is my house, this is my car, this is my children, this is my family. So all these things put together is Lord's inferior energy. Inferior means that it's at a lower level. And superior energy is we, the living entities, the jiva, the human beings. Or also we can say even animals also. Anybody who is living are all living entities. Somebody who can move and do activities. So do you understand the difference between both the energies? We are superior energy. We can talk, we can walk, we can eat, we can do all these activities. So we are superior. Whereas the inferior energy, if you look at earth, air, fire, water, can they move? Can they do anything themselves?
No, Mat.
Okay. So they can't do anything. That is why they are called little inferior energy because they cannot do anything on their own. They are like dead matter. So they do not have life. Like, for example, I pick up a stone, it does not have life. I pick up something very expensive like gold, although very expensive, but it has no life. Is it? Is it not? I pick up a bulb or I pick up a matchbox. It is it is all dead. It has no life. So can you understand the difference between the two? Superior energy of the Lord has life in it. It has a soul in it. For example, we human beings or we have birds and animals. Whereas the inferior or the lower energy has consists of all the elements of nature. So that is the basic difference between both the energies of the Lord. Both are coming from the both are created by the Lord, but one is superior and one is inferior. Is that clear? Any difficulty?
Yes,
Okay.
clear one.
Okay. I'll just quickly share the screen so you can have a look at the picture. Okay, is that okay? We can move on to next screen. Now in the next slide, we will see that how the superior energy, that is suppose we, like human beings, how we are exploiting the inferior energy. So how do we understand this word exploiting? Exploiting is that when we are making good use also, but we are at the same time we are making bad use also. We are utilizing the resources of nature, but at the same time we are also misusing them. Now we understand that inferior energy we have seen it has no power to act. It cannot act on its own, but it can act only when it is moved by the superior energy or the living entity. I'll give you an example, then probably you can understand it better. For example, there are two things. There's a person in the house. He has got a lot of paints and it has got brushes and has got water in a bowl. So now tell me the paint, the bowl, or the brushes. Do they come in superior energy or the inferior energy?
Anshuman Prabhu says it will match the inferior. Jayaprakash Prabhuji
Yes,
also.
yes. So it comes in the inferior energy because it is dead. It cannot get up on its own and it cannot move. The paint and the brushes and water cannot get up on its own and start moving, right? So how can it be? How will they move? Once an in person from superior energy comes and starts using those resources. So a person will come. So a painter is there. So he will come. He will pick up the paper. He will pick up the brushes, and he will take some paint and he will take water and he will start drawing. He will start painting. So we understand that how the superior energy is using the resources of inferior energy. Both are energies in both human being or we jivas, we living entities, we are superior energy. And what are we doing? We are using the inferior energy. We are using the resources of nature. So everything actually is provided by Krishna. The paints, the water, the brushes, everything you look around you, everything actually is created by Krishna. So what are we doing? We are actually utilizing, we are actually exploiting the resources. So in another example, we see that how there is in the house, there is electricity. Like right now, all of you are sitting in light. Can you all look up around you? There is a tube light, right? There's a tube light or there is a bulb. All of you look around. There's some light source. So when you came in the room, did you switch on the button or did it get on and on itself? Did you have to press the switch on button?
Anshuman Prabhu is the only one who says we have to press it ourselves.
Yes, other people should also come, should also it starts interacting, no? Everybody should participate. So again, we
Yeah,
realize that
we have to
yes,
press
we
the
have to
buttons,
press.
people are.
Right, right. So there is current in the house. There is power. Okay, there is electricity in the house. But what do we need? We need a person to get up, go there, press the button. Only then light will become on. Then only we can utilize that light, isn't it? So again, electricity is a resource which is given by Krishna, which is an inferior energy. And how can it be used? Only when a person from in superior energy goes and moves that energy, goes and tries to press the button and utilize that energy. So we can see so many examples in nature around us. We see a matchbox. You know, every day you want to put a lamp in front of Krishna. There's a matchbox. Matchbox again is dead. It has no life on its own. But when you go and do arti, you pick up the light box, you match it, you light the matchbox, and then you light the gas or you light a deepak in front of Krishna. Right? So can you see the difference that how there are two types of energies? Both are Krishna's energies, both resources are given to us by Krishna. One is superior and one is inferior. So we see that how, as I was telling you the example of gold, that how gold is taken out from a mine. You know, they're like big, big tunnels and caves where Gold is there, gold is available. But unless a person goes and digs there, he does, take it out, you cannot take out the gold. So gold again is a part of inferior energy of Krishna, although very expensive, but it needs a living entity to move it. So let's look at this picture and we'll realize that there are everything you see around you, the clothes that you're wearing, the water that is in your taps, the sunlight provided by Krishna, you know, the air which is blowing, the earth, the house in which you're living, the earth on which you are standing, everything comes from Krishna. Everything is part of the five elements. And all of them, because they are dead matter, they fall under the category of inferior energy. If you look around you, you will see so many examples. So let's look at the screen and see some pictures. Hope the difference is clear. So now, next, move on to the next point. Is that clear?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now we understand that yes, it is superior energy. It is a very strong. It is the superior energy is very powerful, and it can perform big tasks. But it is at the same time not independent. It is completely controlled by Krishna. So we might wonder that why we are so powerful. We can do anything. We can lift things. We can move things. We can we can create power. We can create electricity. We can a farmer can produce so much of different food materials from the earth. So much we can do. So why do we say that we are always controlled and we are not independent? So we must understand that Krishna is the source of the energy. And both the energies are totally dependent on it. So if Krishna was not willing, if it was not his will, if it was not for his desire, we cannot take birth in this material world. If he did not desire, then we could not have had so many things in nature, like a simple thing, matchbox or electricity. So one might say, no, it is all created by human being. Yes, of course, it is created by human being. But the intelligence given to the human being is also the source is Krishna. So Krishna is the source of both the energies. And we are totally dependent on Krishna. Sometimes you might even wonder, sometimes you are looking for some object in your house and it is missing. You can't find it. And suddenly after, a lot of frustration, suddenly you will find, oh yeah, it was lying right there in front of me and I could not see it. So can you not see that how in so many situations, like for example, We take good care of our health. We eat well and we eat very healthy food. And despite that, we fall sick. So although we are powerful, although Krishna has given us a lot of power to take decisions ourselves, yet we cannot say that we are completely independent from Krishna. Our life, our, our actually everything, any moment we do is actually governed, is actually, you know, taken control by Krishna. Our birth, our death, our entire life is 100% under Krishna's control. So although we are powerful, but we are not as powerful as Krishna. So this is something which we must understand. This is something which many people who claim that there is no God or there is, all those false people, all those supposedly very intelligent people, or supposedly people who claim that yes, they are very gurus, or they will create magic, or they'll do some great energy they have in their hand and they can produce anything, like the fake gurus. Even for them, it is very important to understand that eventually nothing functions unless Krishna wants it to function. But unfortunately, although we are human beings, although we are very powerful, we forget that we are controlled by the Lord. And why do we forget? Because we think this is mine, this is my body, and I am the boss. It is because of me that everything is happening. And when we start believing it, that it is because of me things are happening, we forget Krishna. So this is because of our, as I discussed in the beginning, this is because of false ego. Because we think I am this body and I am the master, I am the ruler, and everything works because of my control. Whereas what actually is our position? Within split seconds we are dead. We don't even know when our death is going to come. So how can we be have control over anything? We don't even have control on our own life. We don't even know when we are going to die. So we cannot say that we are more powerful. We are actually nowhere in front of. We are actually very, very insignificant in front of Krishna. So when can we think that yes, what is the path that which we must take to become free from this body, or free from this cycle of birth and death? When we understand that we must become Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious means doing everything for Krishna's pleasure, understanding that Krishna is the source of everything. When we understand that Krishna is more powerful than me, although I am also, Krishna has given me some power, but I'm not as powerful as Krishna, and that I'm his servant and he is my master. So when we realize that fundamental thing, that is our starting point of liberation. That is our starting point of coming out from the cycle of birth and death. So although we are an energy of the Lord, although we are given a lot of power to perform big, big things, yet we are not as powerful as Krishna. Ultimately, the source is Krishna. Like how between a father, I often quote this example that how between father and a son, even if the son grows and he becomes a big man himself, but he cannot come to the level of his father, right? Because in experience, in age, he can never come to that level. even if he grows. So similarly, even if as we become very intelligent or big officers in big companies, yet our relationship with Krishna will always remain the same. He will always be the Supreme Lord, and we will always be his servants. So this was today's class with understanding how Krishna has two energies. One is inferior, one is superior. Inferior cannot act, cannot move. It is like dead matter. And how superior energy, which is like human beings, unless we move those inferior energy cannot act independently on its own. We also learned that how, uh, although we are powerful, but we are also totally dependent on Krishna. Krishna is the source, is the ultimate source of everything, and we are totally dependent. And once we understand this concept that we are totally dependent on Krishna, we are eternally servant of Krishna, that is the beginning of our spiritual life. That is as I say, it is a stepping stone on the path of Krishna consciousness. That is his first step to think that yes, there is a chance that I might come out from the cycle of birth and death. So we can take a few questions, not much. We are still left with around 13 minutes. Not many questions, maybe. Just a couple of questions we can take, short ones. Hope
Just
the
2 minutes,
class was
Mataji. Just drink some water.
yeah.
Yes, Mataji, I'm back. We can start.
Yes, I'm here only.
Mm. Spiritual life. Huh. Mataji, so what you were saying that there are these people, who have these miracles which they do. There's some pain, some sickness, they will touch, it will go. They
Yeah,
can get some kind of powder or vibhuti kind of thing from air. So how does that power come, Mataji? They have you have heard that people can cure illnesses,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that they
So
would
there
cure.
is,
They slap. Maybe there's this thing, deaf people, they slap, and that person becomes hearing and stuff like that. Sometimes there's stuff on online platforms also. So
So they are
yeah.
called siddhis. So it is actually it is practice. There are people who perform bhakti and they perform bhakti to acquire these powers. So these powers exist. Like I'm sure a very common siddhi which all of us know that how Hanumanji could become very huge and Hanumanji at the same time could become like a small fly. We all know that, right? And at the same time, there are people, who can walk on water. Mm. There are people who can just, uh, they're currently standing maybe in Chennai, and in seconds they will be in Bombay or they'll be in Calcutta. They can just transport themselves. So basically, these are all siddhis. They are in Hindi we use the word siddhi. Siddhi is something like a power, a
The
power
question is,
which
so
is
is Krishna
yeah.
giving
So
bent
yeah, so
to Krishna?
Krishna gives. If you ask that Krishna, I want this power, he gives those powers. But it is not like that you just go and light a lamp and you sit for some time and you chant some rounds and you'll get this siddhi. There is a process, like in Bhagavad Gita, there are processes explained that how you can acquire all these siddhis. Years and years of tapa and meditations and very severe penances, very severe austerities you have to perform. Like how we saw that Hiranyakashipu spent thousands of years standing and meditating on his one leg. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, he didn't rest. He prayed to Brahmaji and then he got so much of that power. So you have to spend thousands of years in meditation and worshipping the Lord, and
Mataji,
then
but in Kal Yuga, all of this is the previous yugas, no? In Kal Yuga,
yeah,
how
Kali
are
Yuga
people
also
still
you
doing
can.
that?
There are. I do not know the details, but there are ways in which people do acquire these. There is also this tantra vidya. Tantra vidya is like how you say the black magic. So all these knowledges are there, and there are people who do perform all these things, and they can acquire all these things. So these are there definitely. But we are not interested in these kind of siddhis because we are looking for uh, go back permanently. Because people who are performing these siddhis, they don't go back to Krishna permanently. They have to come back again here in this world because they are looking for this siddhi not for their own fame to become famous. They are not looking for love for Krishna. They're looking for these things so that they make money or they can become famous. Correct? So these things are there, and people can acquire these things even today by different methods, by black magic or. But then again, the result is that, of course, the cycle of birth and death continues for them. Hare Krishna. Take the next question.
Mataji is like just a little bit something.
No, that little bit, very we are very short on time, so please.
Ma'am, there's a new person.
Yes,
I
yes, we
gave,
can take.
but then the internet is not working.
Yeah, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Namaskar Mataji. Hare. I'll start. So, inferior energy, you said the five elements, earth, fire, water, etc. The two other things you said, the intelligence
Intelligence
and
and
false ego.
yeah.
So, do they have life?
No,
Because they are
they
inside
don't
the
they
piece of
inside the
people.
body, yes. But they are inferior. The superior is the most superior is the soul. See why? Because if you are understanding the previous classes, our body is made of, we have a gross body and we have subtle body. And both these bodies are temporary. As in, both are destructible. How it is destructible? Because although subtle body continues to go along with the soul in next body, so mind, intelligence, and ego are actually part of subtle body. Mind, intelligence, and false ego are part of subtle body. But they are also temporary. Although every body, whenever we change a body, they keep on moving along with the soul. But finally, if we surrender to Krishna, even they gets destroyed. So in that way, they are temporary. So that is why being temporary, being under the control of the soul, they are considered to be inferior. If you look at, actually, there is a pyramid I had shared in one of the earlier classes, that how, the senses are at the lowest level, and then we have the mind, intelligence, ego. So there is a pyramid actually, and top of the pyramid is the soul. So that is why soul is the superior energy, and the other elements fall under the inferior energy of them. So I'll share in the group. If I see that pyramid, I'll find out, and I can share that in the group. Hare Krishna.
Okay, one. Hmm.
What happened to the new girl?
Mataji, internet is not that good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see her. Just a second. I told her, Mataji, if you go to another place and try, let's see.
Okay.
That works. Network. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So, after maybe 80 years or howsoever, in that age, and if you think the soul is, Mataji, so for example, Saurav, just to clarify the question, Saurav,
Yeah.
when I die, and my soul is there. My soul is there. And then, bacha, my wife, kid, family, I go, my family, bacha, or other, whose kid? Face looks same. Possible,
Hmm.
Mataji, that when we are birth, due to karma,
Yeah.
when it comes to the person, do you think it is the face or the characteristics could be the same, physical characteristics.
In a new body, same person.
हाँ Mataji, right.
Yeah, maybe one of the rare incidences, or usually we'll see that happening in movies, uh, where rare incidences it might happen because of some strong desire of a person who's dying, that I want to take the same face. And Krishna, being kind, he says, okay, I'll give you the same face. But rarely. It's rare. It's one of those maybe movie kind of examples. We see such things in movies usually. Hare Krishna.
Hmm. Okay, Mataji. I'll not ask the other girl. No,
Yeah.
I I had a doubt, Mataji.
Yes.
Outside my home, the gate, the diya, there's some diyas they put sometimes. What could that be, Mataji?
Where do
Just
they
to
put?
check. My family, Mataji, her family only would put a diya sometimes at the gate. What could that be?
At the gate.
Her home outside gate, they would put a diya. She's asking what is it?
Generally, it is in the evenings. Usually, people light lamp like in the times of Diwali to invite Mother, Goddess Lakshmi. We decorate our house, and if somebody is doing on a daily basis, one, it could be the custom of the house to light a lamp, but it brings auspiciousness in the house to light a lamp at the doorstep, and because light is always associated with uh, goodness and knowledge, so it is auspicious to light lamp in the evening in front of the house, and so that all the Devi Devatas bless and our house looks auspicious in the evening. It is generally more or less to do with evenings. We always light a lamp because the sun is not there. No, sun is no longer available, and that it's night. And generally during the evening times, we light a lamp to bring in auspiciousness or to bring in the blessings of the Devi Devatas in our house. That is generally the understanding of lighting a lamp in the evening at the doorstep. But then family customs might vary. You can check with your parents also. Hare Krishna.
She's sharing something, Mataji. This is the first time I'm coming to her class. In a
Okay.
superior energy and inferior energy and all of that, I understood in ISL. And this is very nice, very exciting. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Happy that you joined. Please be regular. Chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And I request all of you to today go and observe things around you, that how everything is dead matter, how everything is inferior energy, and it cannot be moved or put into action unless we do it, like driving a car. Like, unless you put a key in the car, we cannot move the car, right? Or unless you put a lighter in the gas, we cannot on the gas. Anything like unless you pick the vessel from the stove, the stove will not move. So many examples around us in nature we can see of inferior and superior energy of the Lord. So probably next class we will share what all is your observation. So that is the homework for today. I want all of you to go and the entire week to write down or note down in an ISL that how uh, what are the inferior energies? Of course, superior is only one, like we people, the human being. So inferior energies, what all are the inferior energies that you see? We will discuss in the next class, and you can note down, and we will exchange before we start the next class. We'll exchange. I'll ask all of you to share what all you have observed, right? Hope you will do your homework. Okay,
Okay,
great.
Mataji. Okay.
Thank you. Uma Mataji, please, can we have your question next week? Huh? Thank you so much. Thank you, Saurav. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prasriti, thank you. Saurabh, thank you.
Mataji, there's some people saying, Prakhar is saying, hey, bye, bye, bye. I mean, please, please, please.
Prakhar, time, next week we'll take your class if you remember. Sorry, I saw your raised hand and suddenly you vanished. I thought you have exited the meeting, so then we didn't see you again.
Internet, Mataji, internet.
Oh, sorry, Prakhar. Next week, is that okay? Hare
Okay.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Have a nice weekend. See you next week. Hari Bol.